Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Asian Report, but today I just want to focus on the US dollar index as it's a catalyst for a break to the upside shortly, and that will trigger short trades for the Aussie US and the New Zealand US. The other secondary pairs are all doing pretty much according to our wave counts and not moving a great deal. So I just want to focus on the short trade possibilities for the New Zealand and the Australian dollar. We might have a look at the New Zealand Aussie as well. Okay, so the US dollar index here, this has been a long, strong move all the way up to 100 or 10,000 depending on the platform that you're using, and as wave 3 we've been looking at this as an A and a B and a C wave here for wave 4 on the daily chart, and then looking for a move to the upside here, and it has been struggling a little bit, but we're counted as wave 1 and ABC for wave 2, up for wave 1, back for wave 2, and so on, and looking for a break above these highs here. So this green line above this high here is really the trigger. So once that gets triggered, then it will be clear that we're moving further to the upside. It has been a little bit resistance here as well, because it's a struggling sort of picture here, because it's in the 50-60% Fibbo retracement level there, which is pretty obvious, but it just means that it's just going to vibrate there for a little while, which it has done, and at some point it's going to build up enough accumulation to move to the upside. So I just really want to have a look at this here, and this is pretty much sort of in line with weaker yen and stronger stocks as well. So just going into the 4-hour chart first, just to pick up this low here at wave 2 low here, and then we've got up for wave 1 here, and then we're looking at an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here for wave 2, and didn't pull back to the 61.8% retracement level, so meaning that it's on the right track, because we're in wave 3 here of wave 3, so minor degree and minute degree structures, and so on as we build up here. So we're in the third of the third of the third. So we should see it pop up through here, and that will be a trigger making a new high here, will be a trigger to short. But obviously we can move in before that. So just sort of looking at this here in a little bit more detail into the 2-hour chart than the 15-minute chart here. So on the 2-hour chart here, we've got, wave 1 all the way over wave 2 here, and then we can label this as wave 1, and we're looking at wave 2 here at the moment. So just as a general sort of comment, it's possible to put wave 2 just straight under here, but it hasn't pulled back to a 50 or 60% retracement level, so it's still possible to do that. So we've got two scenarios here. We can see that this is an impulse wave of 5 waves, which we'll look at in the 15-minute chart. So it's this wave 2 here that's just about mature. And wave 2 is normally swift and sharp, but in this case it's more sideways and complex, like a wave 4, which is in line with the rest of this particular personality pattern here. And the reason for that, or one of the reasons for that, is the balance of the market. So in that 50 and 60% retracement block area here. So let's move into the 15-minute chart here. So I'm looking at this in a bit of detail for us to understand, because it will be a catalyst in direct relationship to the Aussie US dollar, as you can imagine. So from this low here of wave 2 here, we've got 1, 2, a nice strong third wave, and fourth and fifth here. So then we've got the A wave here, the B wave in 3 waves, and a C wave is normally in 5 waves. So if I had to count this, I'd count it as 1 and 2, and down for 3 here, and then 4 across here, and down for 5. So it is messy in here. So look, it could just push up from here, I don't know, but if not, it'll have one move down here and then up. So the way to tackle this is to buy new highs. Just want to talk about the trading levels for a moment. So this level here, the midpoint, the 65 number here, the 650 if you will as well, this is the halfway mark between 95 and 98, because 95 and 98 here are the minor levels. So the halfway mark for that is the 96.50 here. I do try to point this out a lot because basically this number here is normally, well, I consider this number stronger than 97 and 96. These two numbers are important, but this tends to end up being the balance line in the corrective pattern that emerges from these two numbers here. So it's an odd looking number, but it's critical, and we are seeing it playing out here really nicely. We can see here too that if we were going to buy here, then we could buy, if this was going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, then we could also buy back here as well. We should already be long in these instances, but yeah, so in here as well is group 2 here. So you can see all these open and closes through here. So that's the real sort of important level here as well, isn't it? So once those open and closes through here become support, then that will be a catalyst for going long as well. But that will bring us into group 2 here. So that's actually 65, 72 and the 80 here. So yeah, if that moves up through here, then we want to be going long or short on the Australian markets, and also the euro as well, a direct relationship to the euro. So if I could just have a quick look at the euro for 1 second, because while we're looking at this too. So so the euro here, we were looking at this here in terms of euro US dollar, and this is on a 2-hour chart here. Different ways to count this, of course, but we were looking yesterday at an A and a B and a C correction coming into play here. So really we're still on track here. You know, what we can do is short that through here. That would be fine doing that as well, but I won't be going into this a lot at the moment. We can pick that up at the London opening and work that count here, but this was the main trigger here, the 1.1. But if that US dollar index trips to the upside, then that will leave us on the short side. So now I want to have a look at the Australian dollar, Aussie US. Now our wave count for this is that we have wave 3 here, and we have an A wave here, a B wave here, and 5 waves up for a C wave here. Okay, so as I've mentioned before, there is another count sort of floating around, which is just as valid, which would be having this. Let me just, I mean, as we got this wave 4 at the moment, we're looking for wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Okay, so that's in play. Now, also what I need to explain too is that it's possible that this here is the A, the B, and the C wave here for this little wave 4, and then this wave 5 here. So then what would happen then would leave, it's not going to affect us right now, but it's something that we need to sort of put on the table and eliminate later. So we could look at this as wave 1 here, okay? And then we would look at this as an A wave here, a B wave here, move this out of the way here for a second. So basically an A wave here, a B wave here, and a C wave here for wave 2 here, and then a move up from that point. It's valid, we'll work through that, and we will certainly know once this comes into play here. And one of the ways we can pick that up for is that we know that, whoopsie daisy, get my drawing tool. So if this was wave A coming down here, wave A is normally the sharpest, and then wave B is, well, wave B is wave B in 3 waves, and wave C here. So if this is going to be a wave C coming down here, then we'll be able to see the wave C on more of an angle like that. Well, I'm exaggerating, but you get the message. So if we see that the wave C is actually sharper than wave A here, then we know that we'll be in wave 3 coming down. We'll be in our original count coming much lower here. Okay, so we'll work it out, but I want to stay with our primary count and going into the 4-hour chart here. Let me just squash this up a little bit. So we've got wave 4 up here. We're looking at this as wave 1 here. This has been quite a laborious trip across here for wave 2, so wave 1 and wave 2 to here. And now we're looking for a short trade setup here. Okay, so with that, we're looking at it pretty much like this. So we can look at the first move here, down here as wave 1. We're looking for wave 2 here. So this will be wave 2 here. Then 3. I was expecting wave 4 to be complicated because of the trend line through here. So complicated wave 4 at 75. So we've got 75 is the second strongest number in the market. So we can expect it to play out here. And of course too, I mean, it's built up a nice support here, hasn't it? So it's going to be, there's a lot of shuffling and rearranging that's got to go on here in psychological terms, which psychology of the market to me is just the volume, and that gravitates towards the price. It's all just human nature stuff. So some numbers are stronger than others, of course. Whole numbers, even numbers, and then odd numbers. So look, we're looking for a short trade here. Yeah, so that's it really. So I just want to drill into this little section here, into the 2-hour chart, then the 15-minute chart. So at this stage here, we can count 5 waves down here. So we're looking for an ABC correction for wave 2, and then we're looking for wave 3 short here, 4, 5 for wave 1, then back for wave 2. Now, we need to consider a few things here, of course. Obviously, some traders trade very short term, some a little bit longer, some scalping, some this and that. But in this case here, we'd really want to play it out for the longer term downtrend here. Okay, so with that in mind, that means that we need to manage the risk and navigate any rallies. So the biggest rally that we're going to get is this wave 2 here. So if we're looking at this as wave 1 and 2, so this would be wave 3 coming down here. We'd expect some sort of reasonably complicated correction here, and then wave 5 down into here somewhere. Okay, I'm not sure, we'll look at that. But what I want to point out here is that, you know, if we're short up here or up here, and we'll look at that in more detail too, but then we would have an A and a B and a C correction probably coming back to, well, that looks like a decent supply level there, and then down there. So we need to navigate through that. So if we get short positions here, that means that we can't go and short, you know, down in here as well. Do you know what I mean? Because we want to build short trades here, here, and then over here, and so on through here. So we don't want to hold losses through here, okay? So the idea is to short here, and then pretty much sort of wait for all this. And you might say, Pete, well, why don't we just get to the bottom of the 5th wave here? We'll get out, and then we'll resell back here. Now that's fine, and we will try to do that as well. But once you're in the market, it's easier to stay in there. You know, if we're confident about the count. And if we do have 5 waves coming down to here, that means that we're going to get another 5 over here. So that's the beauty of it. If this is going to fail, then it would have 5 waves here, the 3 waves here, and then we'll come down to wave 3 here, and that would be the end of it. So it'd be an A and a B and a C to here, and then moving up from there. Okay, so that would be the risk. So, you know, we just really want to put a small amount in over here. We'll get this back to break even anyway over here. But anyway, you can start to see the problems that occur here. Okay, so give that a bit of thought. We're going to go into the 15-minute chart now. And yeah, so I'm just keeping the stop well out of the way, okay? So at this stage, we can look at this from the top here as wave 1 and wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5 to make wave 1. We're looking at this as an A wave here, and then an A, B, and a C wave here for the B wave. And we're looking for 5 waves up here for wave C. It looks pretty weak at the moment, doesn't it? It's struggling and carrying on and all the rest of it. So if I've made a mistake, then the mistake is that we already have wave 2 in, so that would go there. Wave B would be, I'd have to double check on that, and that in here. So that's a possibility here as well, to have that finished here. So it would be important to short the green line, basically. So we can get positions here or here, because then this would make this down for 1 here, an A and a B and a C for wave 2, and then moving down through here. So yeah, a bit of a rock and a hard place, but hey, we're always in that space. So, well, not always, but look, so yeah, look, this low here, that would be a catalyst for a short. We could probably leave the stop not quite so high up there above the 61.8%. But yeah, so that's it really. And this brings us through to the New Zealand US dollar as well. So just here on the 2-hour chart, we're looking at the same thing here. So this has been a little bit different on the daily chart here. If I can just go back here. You may even be short here already, and that's fine, that's good. So we were looking for a larger wave 4 top here. So we're looking for the turn here. So now we're looking, when a market moves through a level like this here, back down through, it normally goes back and retests it. So we haven't seen that retest just yet. It might come from the 71 or the 70 as well. So just on the 2-hour chart here. So we had short positions probably in here somewhere if you went short here. So if you are short here, that's fine. We just keep leaving the stop where it is here, but we need to find another way in here now as well. So this is a little bit more advanced in terms of its structure compared to the other market. Now I'm going to go to the 15-minute chart, but I've got it labeled same labeling, but same count, just different labeling. So don't worry about that too much. Okay, so from the top here, we were looking at this as wave 1 here, wave 2, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for the third wave here. So look, bottom line, we think that wave 5 is in play here. But the thing is that it really hasn't really retraced back into its 50-60% retracement level as yet. So I just want to observe this. And the other thing here too is from this high here, this move down here is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So I just maybe don't think it's quite finished just yet. So yeah, I just got to spend a bit more time with this one for a little bit, but we'll catch the next bounce anyway. It's not such a big deal. We'll either short it at 72 again, or we'll catch the bounce off the 70 here. So if this comes down here, we'll see some sort of rally here, and then we can get it from here as such. But if it in its own right here wants to build up from here, then we'll get it up here. It's just not quite there yet. So I think our best bet is the Aussie at this stage. Now, I just want to have a quick look at the Aussie New Zealand, because we were looking at having a low in place here. We figured there was 5 waves here, so we're looking to go long here with a stop under here. So we've moved the stop above. We need to move the stop up to these points here. Now we expect this to move higher, of course, but it's the retracement level area here that I'm a little bit concerned about. I was expecting this move up through here to take us up to 1.8 and then get the bids hit from that with the correction from that point there, but it can count as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for the third wave here. I'm being conservative here, by the way, which I like to be. I like to trade from the bottom up because it's just safer, manage the risk better. So from wave 4 here to wave 5, so this may not be over. This could actually move up from here. So look, just give it a bit of thought where you want to put your stop on this one as well. So we definitely want to lock something in. And look, and also too, once this establishes here as a corrective pattern, then we can pick up the thread and go long from that point. But at this stage here, it's just it's possibly got a top in place here. Just checking price here. Okay, it doesn't matter. All right. Well, look, I've rambled on long enough. Yeah, the Australian US is our short trade really for the Asian markets, and looking for the Euro US dollar in the European markets. Alrighty, cheers.